You think becoming the first millionaire in your family means the room finally becomes warm. You think the jokes stop. You think the people who watched you eat noodles in a bedroom with no bed frame will be proud without making it weird. But that is not what happens. At first they clap. Then they calculate. They do not say it out loud because saying it out loud would make it ugly. So they hide it inside jokes, sighs, prayers, emergencies, and sentences that begin with, "I hate to ask you this." The moment you become the first real success story in a family built on survival, you stop being a person in the old way. You become proof. You become pressure. You become the private bank nobody has to apply to. And the strangest part is this. They will accuse money of changing you before they ever admit your money changed them. Level 1, age 22, $1,100. You are 22 years old, and you have $1,100 in your checking account. That is the most money you have ever seen with your own name beside it. Your room smells like old carpet, laundry detergent, and the cheap vanilla candle you burn so the place feels less temporary. Your mattress is on the floor. Your desk is a folding table. Your phone screen has a crack shaped like a lightning strike. Nobody calls you successful yet. They call you hardworking. Hardworking is safe. Hardworking does not threaten anybody. Hardworking means you are still close enough to be understood. At the family cookout, the backyard smells like charcoal, lighter fluid, hot metal, and barbecue sauce burning on the grill. Your uncle flips chicken with a fork that has a melted plastic handle and says, "Big money over here now." Everybody laughs. You laugh too, because at this level the joke still feels cheap. You make $19.50 an hour. You bought 2 black shirts for work and 1 pair of shoes that do not squeak when you walk. You have started saving money in secret, because announcing discipline in your family feels like bragging. Your cousin asks what you are doing after work these days. You say, building something online. He says, "Here we go, billionaire boy." More laughter. The paper plate in your hand bends under baked beans, potato salad, and a hot dog with a black stripe down the side. This is when you learn the first rule. Before your family asks for your money, they test whether you will feel guilty for having any. 3 nights later, your sister texts at 11:42. "Can you send me $80? I'll pay you back Friday." You send it in 9 seconds. She pays back $40 3 weeks later and says she thought she already sent the rest. You say nothing, because you know what it feels like to need $80. And that is the trap. When you come from need, empathy feels like debt. Level 2, age 24, $18,700. At 24, you have $18,700 saved. Not inherited, not gifted, saved. You worked overtime. You packed lunch in containers with orange lids that never matched. You ate the same frozen chicken Alfredo until you could smell it through the cardboard. You drove with the check engine light on for 8 months and treated it like a roommate. Your family notices small things. You stop complaining about gas. You buy groceries without saying, "Let me check my account." You replace your tires before they become bald enough to pray over. Nobody knows the exact number, but broke families have a sixth sense for movement. They can smell when somebody is pulling away from the mud. At Thanksgiving, your cousin says, "You acting different." You're standing beside the oven, holding a red plastic cup full of flat soda. The kitchen window is fogged from boiling pans. Somebody's baby is crying in the living room. The TV is too loud, and 3 adults are arguing about a remote nobody is holding. You ask how. He shrugs. "I don't know, you just seem like you think you better than people." There it is. The first accusation. Not because you insulted anyone, not because you refused anyone, but because you improved quietly, and quiet improvement is loud in a house full of people who stopped trying. Then your mother starts using your name differently. Before, you were her son. Now you are her option. The washing machine breaks on a Tuesday. The repair guy wants $370. Your mother calls and begins with the strategic sigh. Not a normal sigh. The kind designed to make you ask what is wrong. You ask. She says, "Don't worry about it." So now legally, spiritually, emotionally, you have to worry about it. Eventually she tells you, you send $400. She says, "God bless you, baby." For 1 minute you feel like a hero. Then 2 weeks later your aunt knows, your cousin knows, a woman from church you have met twice knows. The story is not, he worked hard. The story is, he helped. That becomes your new brand. The helper. The one who has it. The one whose progress can be accessed through family. Level 3, age 27, $96,000. By 27, you have $96,000 between savings, investments, and business income. You are still not flashy. That is what irritates them. If you bought jewelry, they could call you stupid. If you leased a loud car, they could call you lucky. If you posted cash on a table, they could dismiss you as temporary. But you are quiet. You wear plain shirts. You drive a clean used car. You check your accounts at night like someone checking that the doors are locked. At your nephew's birthday party, the air smells like wet grass, hot dogs, lighter fluid, and blue frosting. A bounce house hums in the yard like a small, tired machine. Children run barefoot across the lawn while adults sit in folding chairs pretending not to measure each other. Your aunt leans close and says, "So when are you buying your mama a house?" She smiles when she says it. Everyone nearby hears it. That is the point. It is dressed like a joke, but it lands like a public invoice. You smile back and say, "One day." She says, "Don't forget where you came from." People only say that when they are afraid you are going somewhere they cannot follow. That week, your brother asks for $2,500. He says it is for a car. Then it is rent. Then it is just until he gets back on his feet. But he has been getting back on his feet for 9 years. You offer 500. His voice changes. Not anger, worse. Disappointment. Like you failed a test you never agreed to take. He says, "Damn, I thought you were doing good." Translation: if you are doing good, I should not have to struggle. This is the psychology nobody warns you about. When you become successful in a struggling family, they do not see your money as yours. They see it as evidence that the family finally has money. You are the account. Your boundaries are overdraft fees. And every no sounds personal to people who already spent your yes in their head. Level 4, age 29, $410,000. At 29, you cross $410,000. Your business is moving. Your investments are moving. Your nervous system starts changing before your lifestyle does. You no longer panic when a tire goes flat. You no longer check your balance before buying groceries. You pay bills early, and it feels illegal the first few times. But your family starts acting strange around your calm. The jokes become sharper. At cookouts, someone always says, "Ask the rich man." If the dinner check lands on the table, everyone looks at you for half a second too long. If somebody's kid needs school shoes, your name appears in the group chat like a weather alert. Your mother starts volunteering you before asking. You find out through a text from your cousin. "Hey, your mom said you might be able to help with $1,800 for my apartment deposit." You are sitting in your car outside a grocery store. Rain taps the windshield. The dashboard clock says 8:17. There is frozen chicken in the back seat and a gallon of milk sweating through a plastic bag. That is the exact moment you realize your mother has turned your money into family infrastructure. Not maliciously. That is what makes it worse. She thinks she is being generous with your life. In her mind, if one person escapes, everyone should grab the ankle. You call her and say, "Please don't offer my money before you ask me." Silence. Then she says, "I guess money really does change people." That sentence hits harder than it should. Because money did change you. It made you calmer, cleaner, less available for chaos. It taught you that love without boundaries becomes labor. But she does not see that. She sees the son who used to say yes now saying, "Let me think about it." To a family addicted to urgency, "Let me think about it" feels like betrayal. Level 5, age 31, $1,200,000. At 31, you become a millionaire. Not almost. Not if you count the furniture. Real net worth, $1,200,000. You refresh the spreadsheet 3 times. You sit in the dark at your kitchen table with no music playing. The refrigerator hums. The laptop glows blue against your hands. Outside, some car alarm chirps once and gives up. You thought the moment would feel loud. It does not. It feels private. Because only you know what it cost. Only you know the birthdays you skipped, the trips you did not take, the nights you worked until the screen blurred, the friendships that faded because you kept choosing the future over the weekend. You do not tell them the number. But numbers leak. Maybe your mother says too much at church. Maybe your cousin sees the new place. Maybe somebody searches your business name and finds the article with the revenue estimate. Within months, the family knows. Not comfortable. Rich. And when the word rich enters a poor family, it does not sit quietly. It walks through every room opening drawers. Your father calls to say he is proud. Then he asks if you can cover $6,400 in back taxes. Your cousin wants $12,000 to start a trucking business, even though he has never kept a job longer than 7 months. Your sister says her kids should not have to struggle when their uncle is a millionaire. That one almost gets you. Because they learn your weak spots. Family does not always attack the wallet. Sometimes they attack the identity. They make you prove you are still good, still humble, still loyal, still one of them. And every proof has a payment link. The first time you send 1,000, they cry. The fifth time, they ask if you can send it before 3 because the office closes at 5. That is when you understand. Access kills appreciation. What once felt like a blessing becomes expected maintenance. And when maintenance stops, people do not thank the machine. They hit it. Level 6, age 33, $10 million. At 33, you are worth $10 million. This is the level where your family stops pretending they understand you. Now they mythologize you. Some say you got lucky. Some say you must know people. Some say you are blessed. Some whisper that nobody gets that rich clean. But almost nobody says the obvious thing. You made different decisions for a very long time. Your new house has silent rooms. Not quiet, silent. The kind of silence poor families distrust. No neighbor screaming through thin walls. No smoke detector chirping for 3 weeks. No unpaid bill sitting on the counter like a threat. Just soft lights, cold marble, deep furniture, a fridge so full it feels disrespectful. When your family visits, they do not relax. They inspect. Your cousin runs his hand along the kitchen island and says, "Must be nice." Your aunt opens the guest bathroom and says, "This bathroom bigger than my first apartment." Your mother sits on the couch like she is afraid to crease it. You wanted them to feel proud. Instead, they feel exposed. Not by you. By the evidence. Your house proves another life was possible. That is what people cannot forgive. At this level, requests become business proposals. Your cousin no longer asks for 500. He asks you to invest 75,000 into his real estate idea, which is a screenshot of a duplex and confidence. Your brother wants you to co-sign a $68,000 truck. Your mother says maybe you should buy a $540,000 house for the family. Not for her. For the family. Those words are expensive. Because for the family usually means you pay, everyone comments, nobody maintains, and somehow you become the villain when it falls apart. So you do something they do not expect. You bring in a lawyer. Not because you are cold. Because you are done being emotionally audited by people who never read the terms. You create rules. Medical emergencies go through one account. Education for nieces and nephews goes into a trust. No cash loans. No co-signing. No surprise deposits. No business investments without paperwork, numbers, and skin in the game. The family meeting happens in your dining room under a chandelier nobody looks directly at. Your aunt calls it dramatic. Your brother calls it disrespectful. Your cousin says, "So we got to apply to be family now." You look at him and say, "No, you get to be family for free, you have to apply for money." The room goes quiet. Too quiet. Then your mother laughs once, not because it is funny, but because something in her realizes the old version of you is gone. And here is the part that feels too good to be true. You still help. But now the help has walls. You buy your mother a house in cash, but the title is protected and the taxes are prepaid for years. She cries on the porch with the keys in her hand, and for once nobody can turn it into a group project. You fund every niece and nephew's school account, but nobody can touch it for rims, rent, or somebody's miracle crypto idea. You pay for your father's surgery, but you do not pay his gambling debt. You cover the family reunion, but the invoice goes to your office, not your guilt. Then you host the first cookout at your house. The backyard smells like smoked ribs, honey barbecue, wet grass, expensive charcoal, and money nobody can quite see but everyone can feel. The grill is stainless steel. The speakers are hidden in the landscaping. The tables do not wobble. The kids run across a lawn so perfect it looks rented. Your uncle says, "Big money over here now." Same joke. Different decade. This time, nobody laughs the same way. Because now the joke has to ask permission before it enters the room. Your cousin arrives late wearing sunglasses indoors. Your brother stands by the pool pretending not to be impressed. Your aunt whispers that you changed, but she eats from the plate anyway. Your mother watches everyone from the patio. She is proud. She is uncomfortable. She is grateful. She is still learning how to love a son she can no longer manage with worry. And you finally understand the whole game. Your family did not only want your money. They wanted the old access. They wanted the version of you who could be guilted, rushed, cornered, praised, shamed, and summoned. The millionaire version is harder to reach. The $10 million version has gates, accountants, calendars, and a calm voice that says no without bleeding afterward. They call that cold. You call it expensive peace. As the sun goes down, the house lights turn on one by one. The same relatives who once joked about your tiny savings are standing under your roof, eating your food, taking pictures by your pool, and telling each other they always knew you would make it. You hear them rewriting history in real time. And you let them, because at $10 million, you no longer need the last word. You already bought the silence after it.